Close your eyes for a moment and imagine a world where every stranger might be an enemy. Every message might be a clue, and every step you take could change the future of nations. This was not the world of movie spies. It was the real world of espionage during World War II. A hidden war fought in shadows, alleys, cafes, train stations, coded letters, invisible ink, and whispered secrets. The men and women who lived this life didn't wear capes. They didn't have gadgets. They didn't appear in newspapers. But their actions shaped battles, saved lives, and changed history. Today, we uncover their secret work. When World War II erupted, armies fought on land, sea, and air. But there was another war. One that was silent, invisible, and deadly. A war of lies, stolen documents, forged identities, hidden radios, intercepted messages, betrayal, courage. Every major power built an intelligence network. Britain created MI6 and the SOE. The United States expanded the OSS. Germany used the WWII and Gestapo. Japan operated the Kempeitai. The Soviet Union deployed the NKVD. Battles might decide front lines, but spies decided the future. Not everyone could become a World War II spy. They looked for quick thinkers, people who blended into crowds, those fluent in multiple languages, people with cold nerves and warm smiles, men and women who could disappear in plain sight. Some spies were teachers, musicians, farmers, students, actors, housewives, ordinary people with extraordinary nerve. Women especially played a huge role. They were underestimated, which made them incredibly effective. One British officer said, "A woman could pass through checkpoints with a smile, while a man would be searched." Spy training was brutal. Recruits learned silent communication, lock-picking, explosives, marksmanship, map reading, disguise, message encoding, radio operation, surveillance detection, how to resist interrogation. They practiced losing a tail in crowded streets. They memorized false identities. They studied how to lie convincingly without blinking. One instructor said, "A spy must remember every detail, but leave no trace." Before entering the field, spies received new passports, new names, new families, new backstories, new accents, new habits. Everything had to be believable. They practiced signing their new name hundreds of times. They memorized birthdays that weren't theirs. They carried photos of families that didn't exist. A single mistake could mean torture or death. Spies traveled by train, bicycle, small boats, cargo planes, parachute drops at midnight. They landed behind enemy lines with a radio transmitter, a coded notebook, false papers, courage, and a little luck. They blended into villages, cities, and farms. During the day, they acted ordinary. At night, they sent messages that changed history. Every transmission carried risk. German patrols used radio detectors to locate spies. Many operators were caught because they stayed on air for a few seconds too long. But without them, Allied commanders would have been blind. Espionage wasn't only field work. Inside offices and bunkers, brilliant minds cracked enemy codes. British cryptologists at Bletchley Park, American codebreakers in Arlington Hall, Polish mathematicians who first cracked Enigma, Soviet spies who infiltrated German communications, double agents feeding false intel to the Nazis. One handwritten message could reveal troop movements, fuel shortages, naval positions, invasion plans, weapons production. Spies didn't just gather secrets. They created them. Part of a spy's mission wasn't only information. It was destruction. Sabotage teams blew up train tracks, supply depots, bridges, communication lines, factories, fuel reserves. They used small explosives, delayed timers, disguise devices, simple tools like sugar and engines. Some of the most famous operations: Norwegian spies destroying Germany's heavy water plant, French resistance sabotaging trains before D-Day, British SOE agents crippling German supply routes in Greece. These acts slowed down Nazi forces and saved thousands of Allied lives. Some of the most effective spies in World War II were women. Virginia Hall, an American with a wooden leg who became the most wanted Allied spy in France. The Gestapo called her the most dangerous woman in Europe. Nancy Wake killed a German soldier with her bare hands and led resistance groups. Noor Inayat Khan, a radio operator who refused to give any information despite brutal torture. Women carried messages in handbags, smuggled weapons in baby carriages, used coded phrases during casual conversations, ran entire resistance networks. They were fearless, silent, deadly. Double agents were the ultimate chess pieces in the spy world. They pretended to work for one side, while secretly serving the other. The most famous: Juan Pujol Garcia Garbo, a Spanish man who convinced the Germans he had a huge spy network. But every piece of information he gave them was false. His lies helped mislead Germany about D-Day, saving countless lives. Double agents manipulated troop movements, enemy expectations, entire battle outcomes. They used deception as a weapon. The darkest part of the spy world was the risk of being captured. Spies were seen as illegal combatants, not protected by normal rules of war. Captured spies faced interrogation, torture, isolation, execution, yet many held firm. Some swallowed poison capsules to avoid revealing secrets. Some sent one last coded message before being found. Some refused to speak even under unbearable pain. Their silence protected armies. Their sacrifice protected nations. When World War II ended, spies didn't return home as heroes. There were no parades, no medals, no public recognition. Most could never speak of what they had done. Some returned to ordinary jobs. Some stayed in intelligence services. Some disappeared entirely. Their stories only surfaced decades later, when documents were declassified. Many had already passed away. The world never knew how much it owed them. Modern intelligence agencies, the CIA, MI6, Mossad, all trace their foundations back to World War II espionage. These spies built the blueprint for code-breaking, undercover operations, psychological warfare, secret communications, misinformation tactics. Their work changed not just the war, but the world. Today, historians agree, without the spies of World War II, the Allies might not have won. Their courage was invisible. Their victories were silent, but their impact was enormous. The story of World War II spies is not one of guns or glory. It is a story of whispering instead of shouting, thinking instead of charging, risking everything in the shadows, saving lives through secrets. They fought in a world where a pen was as dangerous as a pistol, where a coded message could save an army, and where a single spy could change the fate of nations. They were unseen heroes, and now their story is no longer hidden.